Hello gamers. It is Wednesday the 20th and I have kind of finished packing to go to Pax East in Boston, somewhere I have never been, but I got a last minute sponsor opportunity from a game called AFK Journey and I'm gonna kind of like use it as an excuse to explore Boston. There's definitely gonna be a premise for this video that I just haven't figured out yet. Hey, it's me, Hotel Boston Idea Dish, now prepared to tell you my genius plan. Boston is known for many things. Got a lot of firsts. The first public park, first school, probably the first water fountain, I don't know. But the thing I remember the most learning in school about Boston was the Boston Tea Party. Apparently, afternoon tea is a big thing here. I've tried British afternoon tea. Now I want to know what American afternoon tea tastes like. I want freedom afternoon tea. So I will be trying afternoon tea. The first tea location is very fancy, so buckle your seatbelt. I gotta figure out how to stuff this puffer. I'm a bit of a wuss with the cold, so I'm over preparing and bringing a big puffy jacket. I gotta get this jacket into this and then deflate it. Cue the time lapse. That's so great. A whole rip.
Alright, so travel day to Boston. We were both super sleepy, you know, we're night owls, not great at getting up at even a reasonable hour. So we took an Uber to the airport, and our Uber driver was from Philly and was like a super Boston hater, was telling us all the ways that Boston is not worth seeing, Philly is way better. So obviously not a great start to our trip.
I made a mistake and I did not check in time to book seats, so we're both going to be in the middle seats. However, the only seats available are like the front of the plane seats, not like first class or anything, but the ones with the most room. So hopefully that will be our consolation for not being able to sit together.
But when we got to the airport, the JetBlue people were super nice and put us together in the nicest section of the plane, so things were looking up. I wished on the new Genshin banner to see if I could get Tignati's weapon. Just one temple. I did not, but whatever. Okay, we're about to have a nice plane ride. Just kidding, they were very much normal seats. But hey, at least we're together. So I technically had my first afternoon tea on the plane. They gave me the water and the tea bag. Nice little Boston local tea. I steeped it for about 3 minutes. Make sure you check the steep times on your tea. Over extracting is going to make your tea a lot more bitter. It was simple, it was free, it warmed me up nicely since the plane was cold, and the blankets cost $9. I pulled out the $6 chocolate bar I got at the airport to go with my tea. You know, it wasn't quite a macaron or some kind of baked treat, but you know, it's something. I'll take it. Just then, the snack cart lady came through with pretzels, and suddenly, I had a sweet snack, a salty snack, and tea. Honestly, all things considered, not bad. I'm grading this afternoon tea on a curve since, after all, it is free plane food. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I actually spent most of this flight reading. I read on my Kindle, and if you have one, you know that you have little monitors on the lower left corner that will show you how many hours you have left in the book overall. And I saw that I had 2 hours and I think 21 minutes left. And then I checked the flight monitor and it showed almost the exact same number. Okay, challenge accepted. I'm gonna finish this book before we land. Honestly, the flight flew by. It was the quickest flight of my life. And yes, I did finish the book before we deplaned.
You have a funny joke for me?
Yeah. We're in Boston, massive shoe pits.
What's a shoe pit?
Shoe pits.
Shoe pits.
Yeah.
We're in the shoe pits. We're tired and hungry. I want to go to the hotel. Very exciting airport update. How you doing?
My hands are freezing.
Yeah. I have gauntlets, little fuzzy guys in here, but I already tried to get stuff out and my whole luggage almost spilled, so I will just put them in my pocket.
We Ubered to a hotel, and that Uber driver was basically a tour guide. He was a Canada transplant and was just telling us about all the historic locations, We saw the oldest neighborhood in the country. We learned about the way that the city had restructured to accommodate cars. We passed by where Paul Revere was buried. We saw a statue of Ben Franklin. Very, very different from what I'm used to in cities in Los Angeles, where things, well, obviously aren't as old. The hotel was nice. First of all, they had free water.
Tiny stream of water.
After we put our stuff down, we were starving, so we raced straight down to a restaurant called the Elephant and Castle, which was connected to our hotel, and it's basically American British food.
That is more beautiful than I could have imagined.
I gotta try it without the dip first.
Okay. Wow.
That's the softest pretzel I've ever had.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Pretzel bites are often like really stiff and not squishy like this.
It's doughy on the inside, but
Yeah,
crust on the outside.
Doughy. It's like a garlic knot or something. Be so coarse. Yeah, it tastes like honey mustard.
The food was so good, and it was exactly what we wanted at that time of night. We ate, and we crashed immediately upon returning to our hotel room.
Good morning, Boston. What a view. Hello, it is Friday, our first official full day in Boston. Oh, there's someone taking a picture. Okay, well now I feel awkward. It is what, 11 something? I really shouldn't film vlogs from this angle. We're going to get Vietnamese pho burgers, apparently.
Burritos.
Do you know burritos? Do you know it's 8 a.m. our time?
Yes.
I feel that. The bed was extremely uncomfortable. Woke up every hour or so. We're gonna eat and hopefully that will help. It's very cold. It's very cold. You think we stand out? No, we look like total normal. We belong here.
My nose is gonna freaking fall off.
I had already booked our reservation for the most expensive tea house in Boston, but it wasn't until I think 4:30, so we had time to kill. First, we had Vietnamese coffee and breakfast. We both got Vietnamese burritos, which were fantastic. I ordered a hojicha latte, which is not something I normally see in cafes. It literally translates to roasted tea. It's a Japanese green tea that it's roasted in a porcelain pot over charcoal. It's kind of a nutty, earthy flavor. It's really smooth and warm. Like, it would be a great holiday drink, but I like it, or honestly, at any time. Then we went to this old building for something very special. CVS, because we forgot our toothbrushes and toothpaste. The night before, we just used mouthwash.
Yeah, $4.
Gross, I know.
Shopping. Really yum, do your best yum.
Then we took a lift to one of the big shopping areas because we're dumb Southern Californians who are very hesitant to use public transportation. I just spotted my favorite store.
Is this heaven? Literally my 3 favorite stores all next to each other.
Me and Joshua have accidentally started this tradition where we get kind of nice, not quite luxury, matching gifts when we go on vacation. The last time we got watches from Fossil. This time we both got rings from this brand called Majuri. Majuri does high quality jewelry without the insane markup. So I really like shopping from them and I really hope they sponsor me someday. So Majuri, if you're watching this, I love you. Then we went across the street to this bookstore / coffee shop place. We mostly went in there because Joshua had to pee, but I'm typically a Kindle reader, but I really like going to bookstores and getting exposed to more books. the internet is like not always the best place to get book recommendations. So just picked up a couple that caught my eye and got an idea of maybe what I wanted to read next. We shop till we drop. Now we're gonna go get afternoon tea. Then we made our way over to Silver Dove Afternoon Tea. So the afternoon tea menu was set. All we had to do was pick which tea we wanted. Joshua ordered a sencha, which is a type of green tea, and I ordered a pu'er tea. Pu'er is a Chinese tea that originates in a place called Yunnan, southwest China. It's not quite a green tea, it's categorized more as a red tea. It's produced in a very small region and it's also fermented, so it's definitely more on the expensive side. It was really cool that this was offered. The people who worked there were super observant. They also told us when to remove the tea from the teapot, which is huge points for them. They offered us extra hot water to steep the tea a second time and instructed us how long to steep the tea that time around.
For your sweets up top, we have a passion fruit eclair with macadamia. The triangle is a treacle tart with Maryland cream, a bergamot macaron, and a black sesame chocolate cake.
Beautiful. Feels forced now, but it will. Okay, which one are we doing first?
It was a really small place, and we were kind of seated in the middle of the restaurant, so I didn't want to be too obnoxious with my camera and tripod, so if my footage is at kind of a weird angle, I'm sorry.
And chicken salad. A little bit of turmeric in there. Almonds, bergamot. I have more experience with bergamot as a perfume. So tasting it.
It kind of tastes like a Fruit Loop.
It kind of tastes like a Fruit Loop. It really tastes like a Fruit Loop.
Wow.
The total for both of us was $118.13. That included an additional, I think it was 18 or 20% gratuity. I had a great time. I'd say it was totally worth it. It definitely felt like luxury service. So I would say Silver Dove Afternoon Tea definitely earns its place as the most expensive tea house in Boston. So upon further inspection, I have to make a small amendment here. Technically, the Courtyard Tea Room at the Boston Public Library is more expensive. However, they don't serve tea, they serve tea-infused cocktails. So obviously alcohol make things more expensive. Tomato, tomato, I will visit the Courtyard Tea Room the next time I'm in Boston. We had Irish food for dinner, and honestly I was too lost in the sauce to take many pictures or videos, so here's the only thing I got. There was live music, it was super loud, had a great time, and went back to our hotel room. Boston Day 3. This day started a little bit differently than I intended. So Joshua, super late the night before, found out that Louisa May Alcott's home was 30 minutes away from where we were staying. If you don't know, she is the author of Little Women, my favorite book. And I had a very small window to potentially go visit. Before I had to be at Pax East, but in the morning it was snowing and raining, which made for just too dangerous of conditions, especially with my sponsor. The time crunch was just not worth it. After getting some Dunkin', I made my way over.
Waiting outside the media entrance to be let in. It's raining, but honestly, it's not too bad. It was way worse this morning. Someone from AFK Journey is on their way, I think. I hope.
Super cold, but thankfully that meant it was not nasty and sweaty inside.
Okay, kind of paranoid. Not enough of my fans are gonna be here, and they're gonna be like, wow, why did we hire this to do the sponsor? Nobody wanna see her.
Anything going on right now, so my
AFK Journey was the game that sponsored me to come out to Boston. Such a great experience. The team was awesome to work with. I got to test out the game a little bit. and then I started my meet and greet. I really shouldn't have been worried. There were a lot of really sweet dishlings that came over to say hi. Since the line was shorter, I ended up just being able to have like nice conversations with people. Shout out Birdie and Catburger, if you know, you know.
Very normal, not spicy juice.
This was the perfect meal to have in this crazy rain. Probably one of my favorites. Me and Joshua literally didn't talk at all because we were so focused on eating. And then it was very wet. Very wet.
Okay, it's our last half day in Boston. We got up in enough time to go to a coffee shop that Joshua went to yesterday. He wanted me to see it, and then speed run to a used bookstore. Typical classic combo, coffee books. And then we're going to the airport, we'll eat there, and then we go home. It was such a short trip, but it was so great. Biggest mistake was not looking up in advance, like what are the big landmarks. If I had known that Louisa May Alcott's home was here, I definitely would have planned ahead. I definitely have a reason to come back and make it like a pilgrimage of sorts. They have this experience where you can book up to 2 hours in Louisa May Alcott's bedroom to like read or write or like it says like meditate or something like that. So obviously I have to do that. I dare say this will not be the last time I come to Massachusetts. And if I do, rather when I do, I will vlog it and I will put it on my Dish Crates channel because it's going to be more, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks again, AFK Journey, for making this whole trip possible. I had such an amazing time and I will be back. I'm coming back to Boston. You know, Boston's smaller than I thought it was going to be. In my head, it was like this big city. Important city, but not big. All right.